Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dreamleapers Inspiration. I'm your host, Harriet Cole. So very happy to be with you today. I hope you're doing great. I hope that you had a wonderful weekend and that you are just feeling ready for this day. Are you? Are you feeling ready? I am. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling grateful and just in the space of being prepared with my eyes open, looking around, having a sense of peace about whatever this day will bring, in part because I've planned the day. You know, I'm a big believer in planning. I've planned the day and know that I will follow my plan. And also, in the midst of following my plan, my intention is to keep my eyes open, to notice the great things, the great tiny things that happen throughout the day. And that's why I wanted us to think about butterflies today. Welcome, welcome, everyone. When I think about butterflies, I think about something beautiful with such incredible detail of beauty, something fleeting because, if you're lucky, you get to notice a butterfly. It may even light on something near you. You can pause and enjoy its beauty, and then it flits off somewhere else. But in that moment, when you notice it, if you really do take the moment to savor it, then you can experience the subtlety and range of beauty in that amazing creature. So, why did I think of it today? This morning was my first morning back in my house. I've been traveling every single week for a couple of months and will continue to be traveling for a couple more months. This is what my life used to be like pre-COVID, where I was maybe not every week, but very frequently on a plane, in a car, moving to moving my physical self from one place to another for work and or family commitments. And so we're kind of back to that rhythm. So I just got home last night from visiting my daughter in college, and that was fantastic. And got up this morning, started doing the things I do in the morning, and then I said, let me turn on the news. And often I look at political news, and I did not this morning. I turned on the Today Show, which many of you may know I was a contributor to the Today Show for many years. And I was watching and noticed that a story was coming on in honor of breast cancer awareness, which this month of October is. There's a woman who was going to come on to share her journey of learning that she had breast cancer and going through the process of treatment and healing. And so they teased that. And I looked at her and she just looked so bright and cheery. I said, let me see what she's going to say. And when she came on, she literally lit up the set. She had on a bright color. She was talking to Hoda and Savannah, and as they were sitting, Hoda and Savannah were leaning in. And I teach public speaking. Whenever you get somebody to lean in when you're talking to them, you've won them over because they want to be with you. They want to experience whatever it is that you are offering. They want to share in that moment. And Hoda and Savannah were leaning in and listening. And with the brightest face, this woman explained that when she first got her diagnosis, there was so much fear. She couldn't sleep at night, and it was extremely difficult in the beginning. As she's telling us this, she is exuberantly describing what's going on with her. And in the description, she talks about the little amazingly wonderful moments that happened throughout her fear, throughout the pain, throughout the treatments, and she's still in treatment. Among them, uh, she, as I mentioned, she said she couldn't sleep at night. So a friend of hers brought her a nightlight so that she would be able to turn on a small light so she could write or just see on those evenings when she just couldn't close her eyes. A boy in her neighborhood who loves her, as his mom is driving him to school each day, he honks the horn when they are driving past her house every morning. And he told her, I'm honking the horn to let you know that every day we are praying for you. And even as I share this, I'm tearing up. She went on and on and on to explain little butterfly moments that have occurred and continue to occur for her during this time that is extremely challenging. First fear, then, just constant worry, then physical discomfort, pain, the things that she has to go through with the treatment, and throughout it all, because she's noticing the butterflies. She's noticing these beautiful moments of love and joy and awareness and connection, because she is not alone. And she had on set her family and friends, and there were about 7 or 8 people she had brought with her to share in this moment where she was able to tell her story to so many people. And sadly, there are many, 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 many people suffering from breast cancer as she is, as well as other ailments. And her storytelling is so incredibly inspiring, because what she did was to say, we will not fail or fall down or sink into despair during this time. We will learn from whatever is before us. We will live through the experience and fight forward to the extent that we must. Never giving up and always keeping our eyes open, noticing the butterflies. Well, that was just this morning. I saw it on the news and said, oh, I have to share this with you. All of the folks who gather with me every week to draw upon the inspiration that lives within us, that connects us to each other, that lives even during moments when we may feel alone, sad, worried, fearful, at a loss for understanding what's next, especially during moments like that, to pause and notice the butterflies is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, if you are fortunate to live in a place where nature abounds, it's all around you, then you may have these experiences, at least as it relates to nature, all the time. Nature talks to us in the most beautiful of ways. I was driving this past weekend, and I live in Manhattan. So in Manhattan, sometimes you have to look kind of hard to notice nature, because what you see are very tall buildings, followed by very tall buildings, followed by lots of concrete and machinery, and a tree or two here and there. But this weekend, when I was visiting my daughter and driving, there were so many leaves that were changing, and there was a lot of wind in the town where she is, because it's very flat. Lots of wind whipping up the leaves. Nature was everywhere. It was so apparent. And I just paused. Let me look around. What do I see? What do I see that can inspire me in this moment to pay closer attention to this moment? That is a lesson that I learned years ago from my husband. I used to only like sunny days, because I'm a water sign. I love being at the beach. I love being kissed by the sun, being in warm weather. And he would talk about the beauty of the fog and the beauty of a cloudy day and a rainy day. And I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. You ever do that, especially with your partner or somebody close to you? So, yeah, I did that. Whatever. I don't know what you mean. And then, so many years ago, one day we were walking out in an area that was in a field, and he pointed out all the things you can see if you move quietly and sometimes don't move at all, and just look around and notice through the fog the dew on the leaf, the insect that's moving very slowly but with great intention, the stillness of the trees and the bushes and the flowers, the darting here and there of wildlife that are living in that space. And so as we just watched and noticed, I remember thinking, wow, it never even occurred to me that this was beautiful. Fog. I think of fog as sort of an impediment to getting from one place to the next with safely. And he opened my eyes to looking at it very, very differently. Look for the beauty in the moment. Look through the thickness of the fog and see what do you see beyond that? What do you see in the midst of that? And that's why I want us to think about butterflies today. Whatever you are going through, and I do not discount that it could be something tremendous. All of us are going through something. If we're honest and sit back and we pay attention to what's going on in our lives, no one is immune to challenge. Not one of us. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how big your house is, whether you are single or coupled, whether you have children or not, whatever you value, whether you have a big fancy job, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're unemployed, it doesn't matter. Whatever your life circumstances are, chances are right this minute, there is also a challenge that you are facing. I want you to think about it. What challenge are you facing right now? Ask yourself that question for real. So you're talking to yourself. You don't have to tell me. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. What is the biggest challenge that you're facing right now? What would you say that is? If you had to name it, what would it be? And if you can't think of one because several things pop up, write down whatever those things are that pop up. What is your biggest challenge right now, or what are your biggest challenges? There's more than one. Are you writing it down? I'd like for you to write it down. I want you to own it for a moment. Even if it makes you really uncomfortable, that's okay. What is your biggest challenge? Write it down. Did you write it down yet? I hope you did. It could be anything. You know, this morning when I woke up, I realized, and this is not really, it's not a big revelation, but it was big this morning. I've been moving around so much, but I haven't been moving around enough. You know, I've been walking in airports, so my watch tells me you're walking, you're moving, that's good. But I haven't been doing conscious exercise in the way that I need to. And that is a real issue. That is something that I need to pay attention to and put on the front burner, put on my to-do list at the top of the day so that I don't let the day go by with all the busyness that fills up my schedule. And then I tell myself at the end of the day, oh, you know, you didn't do whatever you said you were going to do for your fitness goals, but you accomplished these 30 things that were on your list. That's not good enough. That's not good enough because what it says is if I don't put the priorities that I know are important for my well being in place and then make sure that I accomplish them, at some point down the line, I'm going to pay. And the same is true for you, whatever the challenge may be. We end up paying if we do not take care of whatever's before us. What are your challenges? Write them down, whatever you think that they are. And how can you look at the challenge in a different way? How can you think of it in a positive sense as something to look forward to addressing? If it's something you need to fix, you put it at the top of the list and tell yourself, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to work on that first in the morning. I'm going to consider that to be one of my butterflies. Okay, now you may be saying, Harriet, no way. That thing, like me getting up and walking in Central Park for an hour before I start my workday, can I think of that as a butterfly? Maybe. If I think of what happens, maybe it's the butterfly before it has manifested, right? Because if I think of it like that, and my goal I reach because I work on it every day, then the butterfly manifests sometime down the line. Look, why am I doing this? Why am I telling you this? Because sometimes we have to motivate ourselves out of whatever the slump is, out of inertia. If there's something we aren't doing, we haven't done, and we feel stuck, we don't notice anything but that stuckness. I talked to a woman a few days ago who told me that during COVID, basically what she did was to sit and eat. And she admitted that she had reached, I think, over 300 pounds. And she's not healthy. She feels heavy. She's moving along slowly. And she said, basically, it's too late. It's too much to overcome. And I said, absolutely not. That's not true. Today, you're talking about it. We're talking about it. First thing is to acknowledge that it's happening. Second thing is to do something about it right now. So maybe the conversation we had was the butterfly, right? In that conversation, she saw, oh, it's not too late. I can do something. I saw, well, I don't have that as a challenge, but what's my challenge that I need to say it's not too late for? Right? So the same is for you. What is your challenge that you might be thinking, oh, I don't know. I've gotten so far off the path that I don't know how to get back on. That doesn't mean you keep going down the wrong path. Pause and figure out a way, if not back, toward your goal. Until the day that we leave this earth, every day we wake up, we have an opportunity to refresh, to re-engage, to make different choices every single day. If you think about that, that's really powerful. The agency that we have as human beings with hearts and minds and souls, brains, capabilities, the agency we have to do anything we want, no matter what the circumstances, is tremendous. Think about that. Now, we need motivation. And that's why I want us to notice the butterflies. So let me read you the quote I found. I found a few really good ones. But here's one, and it's unknown, but I don't usually give you an unknown one, but this is a really good one. Let go of the past. Trust the future. Embrace change. Come out of the cocoon. Unfurl your wings. Dare to get off the ground. Ride the breezes. Savor the flowers. Put on your brightest colors. Let your beauty show. All right, I know you need to hear that one again. It's so good. Listen Close your eyes. Sit with me for a moment. Really allow yourself to just be present right now. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Breathe in deep. And breathe out very gently and long. One more time. Breathe in deep. Breathe out long. And just breathe naturally. But natural breaths, when you're focused on breathing, are a little deeper because very often we breathe in a shallow way. So breathe, everybody, just breathe. Take a few minutes. This is not long. You can give this to yourself. Just breathe. Breathe everywhere. Breathe into your being. Make sure that your spine is elongated but tender. Let your shoulders relax. Imagine yourself as a butterfly, not yet manifested. Think of the caterpillar that's found its place and is creating a cocoon. You are that caterpillar. You are that cocoon. You are safe. You are growing inside. You are manifesting. And now, listen to this quote. Keep your eyes closed. Just be. Let go of the past. Trust the future. Embrace change. Come out of the cocoon. Unfurl your wings. Dare to get off the ground. Ride the breeze. Savor the flowers. Put on your brightest colors. And let your beauty show. Just breathe and see each of those turns. That's what's amazing about butterflies is how they manifest. And the change is kind of unbelievable. And as human beings, we have even more changes than butterflies. Think of yourself right now as a butterfly with eyes still closed. I'm going to unpack each of these lines from this verse. Let go of the past. Right now, stop thinking. When images of the past, memories, worries bubble forth right now, let them go. Let go of the past. Just be here now. Let go of whatever's coming up. And I know thoughts come up, worries come up, people, situations, challenges. Whatever is coming up from your past, let it go. Breathe. Trust the future. What does that mean to trust the future? It means you've got to trust yourself, that you will make smart choices that will guide your steps toward the greatness that you deserve in your life. If you have found yourself on a path that is veered so far from the destination that you thought was your destination, pause and ask yourself where you're headed. Where do you want to go? What do you envision is in your future? Trust that you can guide your steps toward the future that you want for yourself. Trust that. Embrace change. This is a tough one, everybody. We know change is a part of life, and yet we hold on tightly to where we are. It is so common for people to say, I'm not changing anything. I am staying here. This is safe. This is known. And yet change comes anyway. Embrace it. Don't be afraid of it. Don't run away from it. Pay attention to it. Notice it. Embrace it. All right. And as you're growing and becoming the greatest you that you can be, you can't stay in that cocoon. You got to come out. You can't stay hidden. I have a close friend who, like all of us, during COVID, had to be quarantined at home. And he's stuck, unable, incapable of opening his door and stepping outside. His door is locked by him. Don't do that. Come out of your cocoon. Claim the fullness of who you are, all that you have become during this period of quarantine. Who are you now? Come out of your cocoon. And you come out, you stretch. Yes. Unfurl your wings. What does that mean? Unfurl your wings. Stretch. Allow yourself to fully inhabit your entire being. Allow yourself to see that you can move, that you can fly. And dare to get off the ground. Don't stay stuck. Come on, people. Get some momentum. Move. Physically move. Move your body. Allow your mind to move. Breathe. Allow yourself to fully engage your being. And then don't make it hard for yourself. Ride the breeze. Right? What does that mean? Ride the breezes. Ride the breezes, it says. Ride the breezes. What does that mean? Because there's a breeze and then there's another breeze and another one. Don't make it difficult on yourself. When you feel the air movement, when you feel that you're in sync with the moment, allow yourself to move with that moment. You don't want to move against the breeze, you want to move with the breeze. You're savoring the moment and the sweetness that's in it. Yes, savor the flowers that are all around you. See, that's when we see butterflies pause for a moment. They light upon flowers and get nourished by the flowers. Do you savor the flowers in your life, whether they're literal flowers or the gifts of each other's company and kindness? I consider those to be flowers too. Put on your brightest colors. What does that mean? Allow yourself to be seen. Allow yourself to be noticed and admired. Admire yourself and welcome the admiration of others. Let your beauty show. Yes, don't hide you. Be your fullest self. And what happens then? When you notice the butterflies, you become your own butterfly. What happens then is just like that woman I mentioned at the top of this broadcast. Even if you are going through illness, sadness, loss, you are able to notice the butterflies. No matter what happens, you're able to see sweetness in the moment. Human connection that helps you to smile. Moments when you can pause and say, yes, there is good in this moment, even if it is challenging. And so I asked you earlier what your challenges are. If there's one top challenge, or maybe there are a few, whatever those challenges are, what I need you to do is to notice it, pay attention to it, and then notice the blessings around it. Notice the butterflies. Who is in your sphere right now who can support you through a challenge? What information is right before you that maybe you weren't paying attention to, but it's right there and it can help you? What knowledge is within you that will help you to move through the challenge and ride the breeze of that challenge just a little bit more gracefully? In your awareness, in your purview, in your sphere, is everything that you need in order to ride the breeze of your life, in order to make it just a little bit easier, to experience the joy and the sweetness of whatever is happening to you. Trust that this is possible. I know for some of us it seems impossible, but it's not. No matter what's happening, you can extract joy. You can notice the butterflies. I invite you to do that exercise. Do a little meditation. Savor the moment. And then move through the moment with your eyes open and soft, noticing the sweetness along the way. I hope you'll do that. It works. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Until next time, have a great day and make it count. Namaste.